Do you know any similar stories between promoters trying to really screw each other over in a similar sort of style, or something just as vicious and cutthroat as that?
Oh, there've been a lot of promoters, mostly lower level, that tried to screw each other over. Cornette was probably the master of it. Cornette was trying to run a show in Knoxville, and there was this independent guy that kept messing with him. And Cornette said he was going to shoot him and kill him. Oh, it was, I don't really know the story, but he pulled up at somewhere and the guy was there and they got out and I think they started tussling. And then I think Cornette went for his gun and the guy took off. I can't remember the guy's name.
Terry Landell.
It was Terry Landell. How do you know that? And I don't know that.
Because I know that story very, very well indeed. It's a great
So
story.
It is a great story. And I've had, he told me the story. Both of them told me the story. And Landell is such a bullshitter, but he's such an entertaining storyteller. And Cornette is too. When they start telling this story, and Cornette said, I'd get that.
Tell me about Terry Landell, because I don't know anything really about him other than the Cornette side.
Well, he was he was a hustler. I think he ran he ran a lot, I think, with the county fairs, and he had, the dunking deal when the guy gets on the seat, and if you throw a ball and you hit it, he gets dunked. And this clown, of course, he gets up and runs his mouth. Oh, you couldn't hit the ball side of the barn. And he makes these people mad, so they keep spending money trying to knock him off. So he came from that background, which made him a perfect fit for pro wrestling. Then he got to where he was putting wrestling shows on with the county fair, which is a paid show, so you don't depend on attendance. So he would get, I don't know, back in those days, $1,500 to $2,000 to put on the show, and he'd put a bunch of independents on that he probably paid out total $300, and he had a ring, so that didn't cost him anything. So he got in on that deal, and he was a Landell because he wanted to be friends with Buddy Landell, and a very entertaining guy. And he's still alive. He's up there in Knoxville somewhere.
I'm not sure he is. I think he may have died recently, Terry Landell.
No.
I can check. In fact, while I check, why don't you tell me why Jim Cornette has an issue with Terry?
Well, because Terry, they would fight over the same little town. They would fight over the same 100 fans. And Terry would go into a town, and Cornette had put his posters up, and Terry would take them down and just tell the guy, well, we changed the card, and he'd take that out of the window and put his in there. And then Cornette would show up, and he knew all where he put his posters up, and he would see that Terry Landell or somebody had come along behind him and had put another poster in the window, and the guy would do a lot of newspaper interviews challenging Cornette to come down there and the toughest guy and this, that, and the other. And it was a lot of stuff like that. Plus there was some stuff with doing stuff with cars, like letting all the oil out of it. And when it sat there, you crank the car up. Of course, they're going to blow the engine up real quick because there was no oil in it. And it was just things like that. They just messed with each other. And it come to the point, I think Jimmy would have shot him if it had went to push, run, get to shove. So they didn't like each other.
WBIR Channel 10, 28th of February 2022 reports that Terry Landell, often referred to as the K-Town Daddy and Mr. Knoxville, died peacefully on Saturday, February 26th. He was 59 years old, so he died last year.
Well, I didn't even know that. You know, this is very educational for me to talk to you.
I'm surprised I knew that. I don't know why
And
I know that either.
I didn't hear a word about it. And it would seem like I would have heard something, but I didn't.